Hey, sweet souls. This is DTO. Take a deep breath with me. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And I am live streaming for the first time at Embody Costa Rica under the yoga mat. So you can see all these areas here. There's a little place to put your mats, your blocks. And we have this beautiful teak floor on our 2,000 square foot yoga deck. Himalayan and I's vision was quite large in building this. And if you see a little piece of cement in the bottom left-hand area, I am underground in this studio that is being built in the moment. And I will share that with you. If you look up, you can see I'm under that yoga deck in 3D reality here. And of course, 4D, 5D, or whatever dimension you choose. And anyone that is coming to Costa Rica for Envision Festival, that is February 27th through March 6th, I invite you to come to a class that Himalaya and I will be teaching. We have 2 different experiences, and then I will be on a stage on the closing night of Envision as well, debuting a lot of brand new music. So join me for that. Thank you for following the journey of DTO, Embody, as well as Himalaya and all that we have going on. And this podcast is to share about what other individuals are going to be sharing today. And today I get to interview Marla with marlayoga.com. And who is Marla? Marla is a seasoned 500-hour instructor teaching yoga for now 17 years and counting. And this is one of the greatest joys for her, is to share the benefits of yoga. Vinyasa aligned flow and gentle yoga classes blend the vibrancy of movement with breath while building strength and balance. Through smart sequencing, music, DTO music, and a sense of play, Marla's classes help inspire a growth mindset with purpose and connection while improving overall well-being with ease and confidence. Marla's yoga journey started in the early 90s working as a graphic designer at Mad Magazine in New York City. With a consistent yoga practice, Marla alleviated lower back pain due to scoliosis and years of pounding the pavement living in New York City. I definitely know it's a rough life when you're on cement. I live in the jungle of Costa Rica, so no more pounding pavements for me, and sitting on a computer. And now Marla lives in Montana. That's a beautiful change, and teaches at Bitterroot Valley as well as Missoula. Marla primarily teaches vinyasa and gentle yoga and is a certified Kundalini and Yin yoga teacher. Marla believes the work that we do on the mat is the foundation of life, and yoga is the base of how we meet challenges off the mat with clarity and confidence. I couldn't agree more. Marla, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you, DTO. It's so great to be here, and thank you for inviting me. It's great to see your new location too. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's coming together, and as we know,
dreams all coming together.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it feels that way, and it's wonderful to be able to support other instructors that come and see our space, that teach their own retreats. And later on, we're going to hear about the retreats that you offer. And I know you go to places that I love, which have mineral hot springs. So it's all about renourishing and rejuvenating, or as I like to say, rebooting the organism. DTO is Dave the organism. So we get to be caretakers of our bodies, and we get to be in community and connection. I know that you're an amazing leader in being that light for people to learn about their own possibilities and growth. And yoga is such a beautiful pathway into that. Okay, so without further ado, this is a 5Q interview. And let's begin with an origin story. So question number 1, Marla, when did you begin practicing yoga asana?
Okay, so I started practicing yoga asana in the early 90s, and it was just something that was a great release. It started off just as trying out going to a yoga class after work, and I had a lot of back pain, a lot of stress living in New York City and Manhattan, right in Manhattan. And just it became something that I was immediately starting to make my schedule so that I could get to class right after work and any other classes I could get to. And I started to really feel the benefits of my body feeling better, my stress level going down, and a way to manage stress, living in a really high paced, intense city. And it just became part of my lifestyle. And then as I kept practicing and building on this, it became something I really wanted to share. I just really wanted to be able to share the benefits of practicing yoga, that not only that it helps your body feel better, but it really brings it all together to help have a better mindset, breathe better, just as something that you can take anywhere you go. You don't have to have any special equipment. You can do this just by taking a deep breath and being really present where you are. So all of this is what drew me to yoga and why I wanted to share it and teach this so I could help others feel better in their body and mindset. And so that's my whole beginning of my origin there. It's just living in a really big city and wanting to share this. And now that I'm living in Montana, I continue to, keep evolving and growing with this practice and teaching here. And even though it's a different environment, people still they get stressed and they get tight, and it's making time for this. So I'm really happy to be able to be back in the studio teaching in person again, but I also share this online. So that's how I started.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I love the contrast, right? You were in the city, you're in that more chaotic, stressful experience, and now you get to live in Montana. And it was the opposite for me. I was born and raised in the cornfields of Iowa, which is a lot more relaxed, small town. And then I made my way to the bigger cities, got to go to Chicago, and then I moved to San Diego, which is kind of a hybrid. It's not super big city because it has all these awesome suburbs. And then, of course, now I'm in Costa Rica. So I feel like one of the themes that's going to emerge for both of us is the power of travel, right? And not only in the physical world, yeah, but also like how you can travel through what yoga provides, even if you're doing some online classes with you, how it can really take people into beautiful sequences. So let's jump into question 2, which is, what inspired you to teach? Was there an aha moment that happened? Was it such like an awakening or like a yes in all your cells that you're like, this is my pathway, this is my career, this is my focus? So what was it that inspired you to teach?
Well, the big inspiration was that after practicing and continuously, being really consistent with my practice, is that I was feeling so much better in my body and my mind, living in this very, big city and stressful kind of environment. And it was just I don't think there was a specific moment, but it was just an overall well-being and just really wanting to share that. And where I was practicing in New York City, which actually was the Upper West Side YMCA, and they actually were in need to have a substitute teacher there, and I was just finishing my yoga training with Kundalini yoga at that point, and so I just kind of jumped right in. They were like, okay, great, you're here, so now you can sub for her while she's out on her maternity leave, and then it just kept going. So they offered me more classes, and then I continued my training with Vinyasa yoga through Yoga Works, and then did my even further training with with 500 hours, and I can keep going, and with Yin yoga and restorative yoga and gentle flow. So it just keeps building and growing, and So I consider myself always a student, and it's just always, there's always more to learn. But then I love to be able to share this with everyone wherever they live. So that was my base. And I actually grew up in Montana and then went to the big city, and then here I am back in Montana. But I love travel. And so really being able to share this everywhere is what really, it really fills my heart, fills my soul to see how this helps benefit others. And when people are smiling after class and saying how much better they feel, that just, I just want to share more. So that is the base.
I love that. Well, there's such a joy, I feel, to recognize that there's something that you've had a life enhancing experience around, and then to pay it forward and to say, let's have all this extraordinary knowledge and wisdom from Mother India 5,000 years ago that's now, of course, in North America, it's in Central America where I live. It's a global phenomenon. And so for all of us to have someone like yourself that has years of experience and such a really profound, deep connection, I feel it's amazing. And so what are the students of yours throughout the years or as of late? What are some benefits, as you said, like they have a big smile on their face?
Yeah,
What are some things they tell you that how your guidance and your teaching has supported them?
okay, so with my guidance and teaching, and also just in my own body, that I have scoliosis, so that is something where that's part of my back pain. But I don't. It's been alleviated now because of the practice. And when I see others who are having a hard time with how they can access some of the poses, so I've been told by many students how accessible I make this for them and how easy it is for them to follow my instructions. And that, my cueing sequences are really strong, and that it's very easy for them to follow the pace and to follow the cueing of how to flow through these classes, whether they're a beginner first time or whether they are experienced and in a power flow. Slower pace, faster pace, I meet everybody where they are, and they say this to me. They can really make it accessible to them, and that they can really follow it, and they want to do more of it, and they feel so much better from when they're done with class. And so those are the main points, is that it's very accessible to all levels. And I bring in humor, and people like to laugh in my classes. I sometimes sprinkle in things that might be unexpected, and people really enjoy that. They say they enjoy having that lightning, that everything doesn't have to be so serious. There's a lot of serious things that are happening in everyone's lives, whether they're wherever they are, wherever they live. Everybody has a lot of things that are going on, and this is a point where they can release. And so I've been told that it's just a great way for them. They come in, they can follow the class, whichever pace, and then they can continue and practice that out in the real world, so to speak. So practice on the mat, they can make it accessible to them when they step off.
I love that. Yeah, there's so much of that integration process, right? We're in our lives wherever we are. And let's face it, no matter where you live, whether it's in city life or country life, we're on phones, we're on technology, we're working our bodies. And it's important that we give ourselves that rest, that break, that inward experience, and for your students to really take it out into the world off the mat and then bring it into the community that you've been cultivating for so many years. I'm sure that people feel such a beautiful connection in your classes and on your online experiences, because then it's like, hey, familiar faces, everyone's in this together. Oh, by the way, one of my favorite jokes, why did the bagel struggle in yoga class?
The bagel. Oh, it
Because it couldn't find its center.
couldn't find it. Great.
Feel free to repurpose that one.
I'll bring that into my next class. They will love it.
Then
Yeah.
it's your opportunity to say, okay, everyone, let's find our center, because we're not bagels.
Right. Absolutely. I love that. Yeah.
Yes.
And that is so key when we can bring in things that can help us find that light center, because it's always there. It just gets a little clouded sometimes. There's just a lot of stress and things going on. And just like you said, we have a lot of things pulling us in different directions. We have, our phones are dinging, and, until, so stepping on the mat is a point where things can be silenced for a little bit. But then even if people are feeling like, I can't take a full hour, I don't have time, there's other offerings that I have that can really meet people with that. So I like to say that a little plus often equals a lot. So no matter what we're learning or practicing, is just being able to take some time, a little bit of time, and being consistent, that will bring in the benefits, and really start to feel those benefits is by being consistent and just taking a short time, and just taking a deep breath, but then being consistently flowing with this and practicing. And I offer, one of my offerings is a 10-minute yoga class that is something that people can practice on their own time.
I love that. I love what you said about the key of like persistence or a routine or consistency. And that's actually one of my reasons I even began yoga. I have a very good, amazing soul sister friend, Tara Davey, and she's actually Dr. Tara Peterson. And when I met her and she was practicing Ashtanga, and she's very dedicated, doing the Mysore practices very morning, and, neti pot and all these routines that we do as yogis and yoginis. At that moment, I was like, I don't really have anything for my own body. I was a school teacher. I was showing up in the classroom, bell-to-bell instruction. With my music, I was, still dabbling a little bit. But it was like, what am I doing for me? And so that's my biggest invitation for everyone watching and listening, is how Marla can show up for you and say, hey, here's this consistent practice that can create that strength and that balance and that ability to show up for yourself. And as we all know, our health is our wealth. You can't, do much else in life if you don't have health. And I think that's one of the bigger lessons we learned the last 3 years, is really keep your health at optimal levels, because you don't know what's going to happen either in a local or a global scale. So like, be a caretaker of your body, your temple, and your body temple, right? It's important.
Yes,
Beautiful.
absolutely. The world learned this in a very drastic, there was no warning. This is what so on that practice of, we only have this moment, and that's really where we need to be. We need to be living in right where we are, and to embrace that fully, because we never know, and to embrace and take care of our health physically and internally. And it all brings in, when we take care of ourselves, we have that balance. We keep striving for that balance, and we aren't always 100% balanced. We never will be 100%.
Yes, never. It's true.
Ever. But this is why it's the practice. We're practicing this, and we just keep flowing forward. And so it's the beauty of yoga, and being consistent, and having even just small pieces, small classes, a small practice each day, that can help with that, to stay consistent, to be in taking time for yourself, because then feeling better in your own self, you can show up fully for your family and your friends and everything around you. And that's what helps make our world a little more balanced, and it starts with really being consistent with taking care of ourselves to stay healthy. And So that's what I am striving to share, and whether that's in-person classes or my online offerings, and in that I have a way for people to stay consistent, just a short amount of time.
Well, I love that. Well, let's jump into question 4, which is, so tell us about your current offerings. I'm going to show some images so people can see that you're here as a stand to support people to improve their fitness, their well-being with accessible yoga, and as you're an experienced instructor. So the conversation gets to be started, and then also the benefits of private yoga lessons. And this is a big breakthrough that I had. I was taking a lot of group yoga sessions, which are wonderful. And once I got private one-on-one mentorship, it really got my alignment better and just made me feel like that attention to detail. So as you can see, focus specific attention, increase self-confidence, adapt yoga practice for your needs. And you can always modify. We all know that. Practice specific yoga poses or advanced postures, learn fundamentals of yoga poses, and then improve your overall mobility, stability, strength, and balance. That's a big yes for all of us. And so one thing I want to say is, because a lot of people love Instagram, if anyone goes to Instagram, this is a quick link that you can see and get all the information. And one of the focuses of your online offerings is a yoga membership. So feel free to share what Align Your Flow is all about.
Okay, so thank you for asking. Yes, it's Align Your Flow is my online offering, and that is a way to be consistent in your practice at home. So if it's a hard time, say, getting to a studio, or even you make it to studios and you just would like to have smaller chunks of practice at home, I have it's 5 days a week, a 10-minute practice, a new theme each week, and that we focus on, and each day builds. So it starts Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Each day has a new 10-minute practice, and they're pre-recorded, so people can do this on their own time, any time zone, and then they don't have to be set into one specific time if they can't make it to a class, or they just would like to do this early in the morning or late at night. So my Align Your Flow is just that, helps you to align your flow with consistency. And as being more consistent each day, it keeps building into that bigger picture of slowly building into improving and feeling the benefits of getting healthier and more flexible, stronger body and mind. And so that's my online offering. And I have a couple other tiers, even if people would like to do something besides 10 minutes. I also offer private sessions online, and even in I have a full video pre-recorded library of 20 and 60-minute classes as well. So that's all included in that 10 minutes a day, Align Your Flow.
Alert from no backups for 114 days.
And they, so all of those things come together.
Wonderful.
My online.
And let us know about your upcoming retreat as well. I know a lot of people have come to retreats that you've hosted, and I feel like more people are ready to get out and experience something really unique and leave their front door. I think for a lot of us, that's a big accomplishment, just to go and be with a community of yoginis and yogis. So it looks like this is coming up May.
Yes, I'm really excited about this. So this is my in-person retreat that will be at Boulder Hot Springs, Montana. And so this is Montana.
Oh, here's some pictures here.
Not Colorado, but it is a really beautiful venue, unique place. It is a special hot springs retreat center that was built in the 1800s. It's been there a long time. It's gone through many different owners and history, but I will be there May 26th, and through the 28th. So it's a weekend retreat. So coming in on Friday, and leaving on Sunday. But we will be. They have amazing meals. They have organic, a lot of it locally sourced, and that they
Wonderful.
wonderful meals, great food. And then for yoga, we will be starting with our entry. Our Friday evening will include singing bowls, and we will have yoga nidra, relaxing. And then moving into Saturday, we will have some gentle flow classes, and moving into just building, how to bring our visions into real life. And so one little extra workshop too, doing vision boarding, and it will be really fun. We're just going to bring everyone together. So a lot of students in my regular classes, my in-person classes, are signing up for this, but it's open to anyone. If anyone is in Montana or would like to come to Montana for the weekend, definitely get in touch. And I have everything on my website. You can sign up that way. So.
Wonderful. So how can people find you online? That's my last question today.
Yeah. So, so I am on Instagram. So it's at Marla Yoga, and my website, which has all of my offerings, and this is a great place to go to marlayoga.com. And I have all of my offerings there, everything from my in-person schedule, my classes, to my retreat that I'm having May 26th through 28th at Boulder Hot Springs. I also have my Align Your Flow with Consistency with my online membership. And I have a special offering for all of you listening to DTO, and he's amazing. Love his music, which his most recent song, Chamomile, I'm bringing into my classes for that deep, restorative, really special way to start class or end class. And it's Chamomile is his new song. I love this song.
Thank you.
Just like the tea, we can just soothe ourselves listening to this. And for all of you listening to DTO, I have a special offering for Align Your Flow. To do this, it will be marlayoga.com/DTO, and you will have a special offering for half price for the founding member price, which is it's actually $10 a month. So you'd have a special discount if you would like to try that. And I would love to meet you and connect, whether that's through Instagram or sending me an email, marla@marlayoga.com. Sign up for my newsletter. You could go to my
blog as well.
My blog. I would love to have anything that you would like to let me know about blogs, that what I've been talking about with consistency, and I just love to meet people from everywhere, and that's how we learn and grow, is through the travel, the experiences, and staying connected, whether it's in person or online. We can build our communities staying connected. And so I hope that you can come on and check out what I'm offering, and check out my newsletter. I'd love to have you read about what I'm doing each month, and stay connected.
Wonderful. Well, I love the photos on your Instagram. Very inspirational. Makes me want to go outside, which I'm outside often, and practice yoga and be in nature. And that's actually one of the ways I'm able to create music like Chamomile, which is a wonderful collaboration I did with Nicholas Bolka. And it's that preparation is to be in nature, to be grounded, to breathe some fresh air. And then I get to have a sacred space when I get into the recording studio and really be into that moment. And guess what? Practicing yoga is a very, very key component to my creativity. And that's actually one of the themes of this podcast is yoga, art, creativity, and how anyone out there that maybe has a creative block, once you move that energy through your system, mind, body, spirit, it's amazing what can open up for you. And I'm sure, Marla, you've heard people share that with you, or in your own life, you've had that happen where all of a sudden you're like, well, think of how you're designing your offerings, right? You like, hey, besides only being a yoga studio, let's actually do an online experience. Let's go to Montana and let's go to the hot springs. And so it's that creative outlet for us to come together and connect and, continually raise the vibrations. So any closing words, Marla?
Oh, well, it's just been a really beautiful journey being able to have yoga in my life. I mean, this just is really the essence of me, and I'm so happy that I've been able to share this with everyone listening, and I am so appreciative that you invited me to share this with your listeners, and I'm really excited for what you're offering in that beautiful retreat center. And boy, I would love to bring a group there. I mean, it is ready, and
Yes.
coming into those, the next offerings of, going a destination retreat. So, and Montana's a destination too. So it's
Of course it is.
shorter retreat, the soaking in.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Beautiful.
putting that all together, and I'm also looking at as going to the Galapagos too. So
Ooh, that sounds fun.
I just really want to bring this all together, and I'm so happy that I've had this time that I could share this with everyone and be part of your show.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing a lot more details about who you are as a person for the listeners and people that have already been able to know you. And then, of course, new people that for the first time have got to hear your journey and know that there's opportunities to connect with you. And thank you, everyone, for listening. We appreciate you. And yes, this is a global yoga movement. And Marla is embodying that by offering destinations in the future and going to beautiful locations like Montana, and for all of us to continually expand and grow and to raise our vibrations. Thank you, Marla. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Really.